Hello, my name's Gilksy. You've probably read my PDF on the internet, on how to fix PS3s, your lot. Well, today I'm going to show you. Okay, so let's fire its baby up and see what it does. As you can see, it's got the old flashing red light. This one's definitely your lot. Okay, so let's get about repairing it. First thing to say, this is one that has been purchased from eBay. Already has the warranty seal removed, so God only knows what's been going on in this one, but still, we'll repair it. Okay, what you'll need is a heat gun that's suitable to do 350 degrees C, that's Celsius. You'll need screwdrivers, a small Phillips, and a Torx bit screwdriver, but you could get away with using a small flat blade screwdriver. You'll also need some isopropanol alcohol, wipe to wipe the heatsink compound off, and also you'll need some thermal compound. Okay, so let's get going. First thing to do is, if it's already on, remove the sticker, take away the rubber foot, put that safe, then slide the screwdriver into the hole. I'm using a flat blade, and if you unscrew that screw there, then you can remove the lid as follows. Push it towards the left, disengage the lid, take it away. Okay, this opens up the PlayStation for all the mounting screws, so we're going to undo those. Start off here. There's one. Okay, nearly there. Then you've got the two screws here and here which hold the Blu-ray drive down. So these are actually machine screws. All the other screws are like self-tappers, they tap into the plastic. You can see the difference here. One's got a coarse thread, the other one's got a very fine pitch thread. Last one. Right, that's all the screws removed. Now what you've got to do is clip from the back forward, lift it up until it looses from the front, pivot it towards the left. Note, little ribbon cable here. Now, it's secured just here. There's a small little black clip. If you flick the clip up like that, the ribbon cable should just pull straight out. No damage, job done. Next, I'm going to take the Blu-ray drive off. Now, the Blu-ray drive itself should just come straight up, like that, but be careful because there are cables underneath. So, pull this one off here, can you see that? Okay, and then again pivot that towards the right, exposing that small connector just there. That also has a little flap on it which you flick up, cable will come clean out. Okay, put that to one side. Next we're going to remove the power supply. Some ULOD systems, the power supplies go bad on them and you have to replace that, but literally 80%, maybe more, are normally hardware failure, which is the the ball grid array ICs on the main motherboard, and reflowing them will sort it. That's what we're going to do now. So unplug the power supply, undo that screw there, main screw which holds the earth from the mains. There's another screw there. Three screws at the front. You can always refer to my PDF, which is downloadable on the internet free of charge, for the positions of the screws if you can't see properly in this video tube. Okay, power supply. Lift it off. It should just come clean off. That's where the mains comes in. Unplug that. One power supply removed, which leaves the unit looking a bit like that. Okay, so now we're going to take the on-off board off. Okay, same again. Little brown connector this time. That one there. Flick it. Flick the little connector up like that. Flick the lead out. Okay. Lift that board away. Okay. Next we're going to remove that. Okay, but just be careful. Little black wire there needs to be pulled away. We need to remove that ribbon cable next. That one there. Again, flick the tab up, lift the ribbon cable out, like that. Undo the screws. And there you have it. That should just lift off like so. Okay, put that to one side. Right, now we have to unscrew all the securing screws which hold the PCB board and all the plate work in. Okay, so okay, so now we have all the main board screws removed. We've got to take the hard drive out. Hard drive comes out from the side slot there. Like so. Unscrew the blue screw. Flip the latch open, slide it like that, and remove the hard drive. Okay. Right, now we can lift the board out. So what you want to do is put your finger under the front there, grab the back, give it a bit of a shake, and it should lift out completely. Remove the base. There's the main unit, fan assembly on the back. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is remove this back panel. Okay, so what we do, hinge these clips up. There's one there and one there. Okay, turn him over. Same on the back. Like that, it just comes straight off. Now what we're going to do is unscrew these 4 screws here, and what this does, it holds the fan assembly on the other side, puts pressure on the heat sinks, pushes them onto the BGAs on the other side. Looks like these screws have already been undone once, so maybe someone's already attempted to fix on this one, but obviously haven't followed the guide properly, otherwise it would have been repaired. Okay, so you undo those. Undo that. Right. Now if you hold the fan, turn it over, first things we want to do is unconnect the fan, and we want to unplug that connector there. So pop the connector out. Fan assembly should just lift clean off. Okay, there's the heatsink compound. There's the 2 BGAs. Next thing, while we got it over this way, undo these 2 screws here, and they hold the hard drive caddy to the main hard drive connector. There goes one. There goes 2. Okay, also disconnect the battery. Just pull that out like that. Turn it back over. Okay, so we've got 2 more screws to take out before we're seeing the board. I want to take out that one there, and that one there. There you go. Right, now we can lift the case away from the board. When you do this, you need to make sure that these little ribbons don't get caught as they go through, okay? Lift it off towards you, and then unhook it from this back edge along here. And there you have it, the one side of the board. Okay? Note where all these are. They're like heatsink pads. Basically they transfer the heat to the metal plate. Same on these here. If they come off, make sure you put them back on before you rebuild this unit. Turn it over. And ease this framework off. Okay, there you go. Again, on the framework, there's these little heatsink pads. Make sure you don't lose any, make sure they stay where they are. Right, the board's exposed. Next thing we want to do is clean off all this heatsink paste. So this is where you need your isopropanol. And what you do basically is wipe it all off. Okay. Okay. Nice and clean. Okay, what we're going to do is we're actually going to reflow these two big ball grid arrays and that one there, this area, which is the back of the ball grid array, and this area too. Now, I do this side of the board first. So first thing we do is peel these off, remembering where they go. Okay, because if you get the heat gun on those, they'll just melt. And that one there. Right. Position the board so that it's as flat and level as you can. I'm actually going to use a secondary bit now. Right. Nice and level. Okay, now what we're going to do now is we're going to warm up this area here, this area here, this area here, and here. You can check those if you download the PDF. They're highlighted in yellow. Okay, so we've got the heat gun. This is what we're going to use to heat up the area. And switch it on. Set it at 350 degrees C. Fan speed as low as possible. Okay? Leave that to get warmed up. And when you do this, you're not to move the board at all. Okay? You're supposed to leave it. Any movement, you could make it worse. Okay, so here we go. Hold it about an inch off the board. 15 seconds per section. Okay, move on to the next. Remember to keep the heat gun moving at all times, don't heat up one spot. Okay, that's done for that side. I can't stress, do not move this board now for at least 15 minutes. Allow it to cool down fully before you even touch it. If you move any of these little components, these little capacitors, there's some resistors there too, if you move any of those and they come off the pads, you will not know where they go back. There are blank pads on there which aren't used. If you accidentally put it back on one of those, you blow the whole lot up. So, don't move the board. Okay? I'll see you back in 15. Okay, 15 minutes is up. Now we're going to turn the board over. Very careful when you turn the board over. Don't flex or bend the board at all. And what we're going to do is we're going to lie it down. Again, get it as flat as possible. Okay, let's just turn that round that way. Right. Now what we're going to do, we're going to heat this one BGA up. And that one. Also we're going to do these two here. Okay? And we're going to do them separately again like we did the other side. Okay. Get the heat gun. Turn it on. 350 degrees. I'm going to heat the small areas up first, and then go on to the IC. Small area there, and then go on to that IC. Okay, that's done. Now again, do not move the board, okay? If you move the board now, you'll just wreck it. Okay, so I'll see you back in 15. Okay, that's had 15 minutes now to cool down. Effectively now you have repaired your Yalod. All we have to do now is rebuild it. So, first thing we're going to do is apply heatsink compound. Arctic Silver is better, but this is the only one I've got. This is the one that I could find in the local Maplin. I've used this before, it works absolutely fine. Okay. When you buy heatsink compound, you'll get a spreader. Okay, and there's the compound itself. And what we're going to do is we can remove that from there now. We're going to put a fine bead of compound down the left hand side there, and then with the spreader spread it evenly. Now you're looking for a thin layer, almost see-through. That's how thin it's got to be. If you put too much of this stuff on, it can cause more problems than if you don't put enough on. You've got to get it just right. Okay, remove any of the excess from around the edge. Try not to get it everywhere. Just wipe that off. Give it one last sweep. Okay, that's one done. Now to do the other. Same again. Nice thin even layer. Okay, remove any of the excess. Remember, if any of these are missing, make sure they've been put back on in the right places before you assemble it again. If you don't, you're going to have a whole lot of problem when you switch it on. Okay? So, goes on over the connectors first, look. Like that. Okay, pick it up with the board, turn it over. When handling the board, you've got to be real careful now not to flex and bend it too much. I took these two little heatsink pads off here. I'm going to stick these two back on. Okay, getting them nice and square. Put that one on like that. Okay, and then going to put this metalwork back on. Now, make sure that you've got all these pads on here, and that what the metalwork does, it hooks under and then on. Okay, so hook it under like that, hinge it towards you, slot the ribbons through like so. When you've got all the ribbons through, push it home. Okay, pick it up, and we're going to put that screw in first, the one by the hard drive caddy. Screw that down nice and tight. Then we're going to put that one in. Again, screw that down nice and tight. Flip the metalwork back over. And we're going to put these two in. The ones that hold the hard drive connector to the caddy. Screw them down. Okay, you should have something that looks a bit like that. Okay, next what we're going to do, plug the battery back in. A lot of people haven't done that when they follow my guide, and basically it means that you don't get your time and date. So plug that back in, make sure you do that. Next we're going to refit the heatsink and fan assembly. Before we do that, we want to wipe all of this old potting compound off, because if that gets onto that, it just ain't going to work. So, same as before, get your isoprobe and wipe off these two heatsink plates. Okay, that's one done. Get rid of all old compound. Okay, so you have nice, clean heatsink plates. Right, reassembly. The fan locks on that way round. Okay, power connector goes back there, and what you want to do is just look through the fan. You can see the heatsink plates lining up with the holes, and you just drop it on like that. There's pegs on the bottom of the fan which locate, so once it's on it won't move. Okay, clip the power back in like so, then supporting the fan and the board, turn it over. Okay, right, now what we're going to do is screw the two two heatsink plates back down. So drop them in, springy side up, so when you put the screws down it applies pressure. And when I do this, I screw the one down a little bit, then the other, and just evenly screw them down a bit at a time, which will slowly pull the heatsink onto the BGA. Okay, that's one done. The next one, same again, screw them down a bit at a time. Make sure they're nice and tight. Okay. Right, so now you should be able to pick it up and the fan not fall off. Right. Next thing we're going to do, clip the power supply back on, or make sure that all the little connectors there are lined up. Okay, on, and that's that. Get your base, blow out any dust that's in the base. This one seems pretty clean, and what we're going to do is drop it back into the base. Okay. Line it up, and it should just drop straight back in. Okay, like that. Now for the fun part, and that's locating where all the screws go. Okay, so the first thing, you can follow the guide, the PDF, if you want. It does point out screw positions, but if you look on the metal plate where the screws have got to go, I don't know if you can see that, there's a small arrow pressed into the metalwork. So if you follow that, you should be okay. There's one there. One there. Could be this one. way. Okay, now in this corner, that was where we removed the on-off assembly. Okay, so what we're going to do is drop that on, drop the board in place, okay, and then carry on screwing in. So that one goes there in the corner, which holds the bracket in. This one goes here on the other bracket. And then you've got the two that screw through the board into the brackets themselves. Okay, put them on. And moving down. Do that one next. And one last one there. Okay. Right. Now there is one more to do, and that's this one here. But that is the longer version. Okay? So drop that down and screw it down like that. Okay. Now we're going to connect up the little board. And that basically, you slide that in as far as it'll go. Okay? As far as it'll go there, and then that little brown clip on the top, push it down until it locks. The way you can check is it's nice and square and it doesn't pull back out. Okay, that's that done. Next, you want to get the screw with the built-in washer and the split washer, and you want to screw the earth back down, and that goes to that earth plate there. Okay, make sure you put that on. Do not miss that off, because basically when you power this up, it needs to be earthed. Right, okay. Next we're going to fit that. Okay. Lift the ribbons out of the way. That should just drop in place. Hooks under there first, like that. Then it's got to be screwed down. It's screwed down with machine screws. Basically they screw into metal rather than into plastic. They're the ones with a finer pitch thread. So we screw those two down there. That one in there. Being careful not to damage any of these ribbons. And that one into there. Okay, so they're all nice and tight. Then you have to plug this ribbon back in. Let's move that one out of the way. Right, same as the little brown ribbon. If you put it in, push it as far as it'll go, nice and straight, and then this little black clip here, clip it down. Again, you can just give the ribbon a little pull just to make sure it won't come out. That won't, that's fine. Now, get this little black lead, feed that around that way, and you want to plug that in to the miniature BNC connector just there. Okay? Right, that ribbon goes over like that, and that's that bit plugged back in. Next we're going to put the power supply board back on. Okay, power supply board. That there is going to drop onto those pins. Make sure the power lead's out the way. Just push it down till it stops. Job done. Remember to plug this lead back in. That's where your 5 and your 12 volts goes to the board. Get your power in at the back. Plug that in till it clips. And important, tuck the lead in behind the back so it can't get caught on the plastic. Next we're going to need to put the screws in. And there's the two at the back. Again, they're machine screws, so they screw into metal. There's those two done there. And there's 3 at the front. One last one. Okay, that's the power supply fitted. Next we're going to put the Blu-ray drive in. Okay, make sure that leads out the way. Okay, now this is a little bit tricky because you've sort of got to hold it and try and latch that little latch in at the same time. So first things first, make sure the little flap is up. Get the ribbon, slide it into position. Okay, once it's in, it goes nice and flat. And what you want to do is just put that down like that. Not forgetting to plug that back in. Again, that cable, just tuck it around the edge there. Goes under a little clip at the front. That's just to hold the cable out of the way. Right. Okay, that's all in. We're good to go. Next, I'm going to put the lid back on. One lid. Ribbon. Same again. Goes in there, look. Push the little black clip down. Check it for square. Make sure it won't pull out. Okay. And then put the lid like that. Tilt it towards you. And what you want to do is clip the front on first. And let the lid fall down. And it should seat in quite nice like that. Okay. Right, screwing that back down. Short screw. There's only one left. That one goes in this corner here. There's a little symbol that says S. Put that one in first. Screw that down. Long screws. Don't put the two for the drive in yet, leave those out. Make sure they're all in and all down nice and tight. That one there. Okay, like that. Right, now the two machine screws which hold the Blu-ray drive in. They go down into that. do that up tight. Same again there. Like so. Right, now I want to put the lid back on, or the cover plate. Now what I didn't say at the start was, just in here, there's a little metal clip, right? And that basically goes in like that. Try not to lose it, because if you do you can't get your cover back on. So make sure that's in. Get your cover. Cover drops on like it did before, like that, and then slide it to the right and it should lock. Shouldn't come back off. Okay? Turn the PlayStation on its end. This is the awkward bit. Getting the Torx bit back. Okay. Once that's screwed in, now what we want to do is put the hard drive back in. One hard drive, drop it in, push, and then slide. Pop that down. Screw your blue screw back in to secure it in place. Okay, put the hard drive cover back on. Rubber foot back in. Right, and there you have it. That should now work. So, power lead, let's try it. In goes the power. Let's turn it round so you can get a look. Right, let's give it a go. And there you have it. It's working. Okay? Let's press and switch that off. And there you go. Just to show you that it does work, definitely, I'll open it, I'll switch it on with the eject. Oh, bonus. There was a Call of Duty disc in it, World at War. Just what we want. Okay, so there it is, it's on, it's working. Hard drive was working then. It's all good. Can you hear that? Nice and quiet. That's what we like. Okay. Thank you for watching my guide. This is Gilksy. If you have any problems you can email me, which my email address is on my PDF, which you can download. And good luck with your PS3. Okay.